Thanks, Mahesh. Thanks, everyone, for staying until the end. Um, what a conference, right? I want to start with giving a hand to my very dear friend Mahesh for putting this all together. Uh, all I can say is, wow, a lot of help, but of course, it takes a village to do something like this. But Mahesh, you've been the heart and soul of ELS since the beginning. Um, I'm going to say a few words and then turn it over to my friend and colleague, Christina. Back in the 1960s, when I was a kid, um, space was really about two nations, the United States and then the Soviet Union. Um, it's changed dramatically now. And part of what we did at then the NASA Lunar Science Institute in the very beginning, this is an effort that I led at the beginning and which is now led by Christina, is to start an international partners program with the idea that the moon and eventually other places in our solar system should be accessible to all. So we started an international partners program in 2008. And what I like to say is our first scientists at the NASA Lunar Science Institute were actually from Canada. They were our international partners. They were on board before we chose our first domestic teams. But I also want to say that the UK was also one of the very first, and we've been working very closely with the UK and in particular Mahesh on ELS and so many other things since then. I could tell right away that Mahesh was a force to be reckoned with, and I think we'll all agree with that in a very positive way. We now, Survey, now have 11 partners. That's about to change in just a few minutes. And we have over 300 international scientists. This is beyond what we fund domestically, contributing to the global effort in this wonderful discipline that we all love so much. So with that, I would like to turn it over to Christina, who's going to make a very special announcement. Christina.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you, Greg. Thank you, Mahesh. We're super excited to have another special guest. Hopefully Ricky can get him on the screen, but we've been working for I don't know, not quite a full year. This one came together really quickly. We out of our 11 international partners, we have 5 from Europe, and many are here or were here. And now we get to add a 6th. This is Valentin Bickel. He is from the University of Bern, and he is the PI for the Swiss Exploration, Education, and Science Endeavor, also known as the Cheese Proposal. So we now have a Swiss cheese partner. So we are very excited. I know Valentin is, and I wanted to give Valentin just a minute or two to say hello and say just a little bit about his proposal, and then we'll conclude with the final talk. Welcome, Valentin.
Well, hey everyone, thank you so much, Christina. Thank you so much, Greg. Seems like you guys saved the best for the end of the conference. Just kidding. I should say that all of this was initiated by Greg, Christina, and Brian at LPSC last year. So you guys really got the cheese rolling. So thank you for that. Of course, I also like to thank everyone else who was involved. For example, Rebecca, Susanne, Jan, the Survey, NASA HQ staff, and of course, our Swiss partners. Right now, as of today, we have a total of 8 universities and research institutions participating in cheese across the entire country. So we have Bern, Zurich, Lausanne, Basel, Lucerne, Neuchâtel, and Valais, with more than 50 members. And I think that's something we can already be proud of. And it also shows the great interest of the Swiss space community in cheese. Cheese's research interests are, of course, closely aligned with Survey's. There are 7 items on the list: instrumentation, there's sample science, there's robotic mobility, applications of machine learning, lunar and planetary science, of course, missions and operations, and ISRU. So a very long list of very exciting topics. And lastly, I'd also like to highlight that one of the E's in cheese stands for education, and cheese is very interested in enabling the exchange of students. And actually, I'm very proud to say that one Swiss cheese student, Ricardo, is at the LPI in Houston right now, conducting an internship with David Kring at the Center for Lunar Science and Exploration, which I think is absolutely fantastic. So lastly, yet again, I would like to thank everyone for their support. I very much look forward to building up momentum over the next months and years. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us, Valentin. We're thrilled to have you as a partner, and we look forward to all the future work we're going to do together. So
Likewise.
thank you all. And then are you going to introduce?
Oh, I was just going to say, well, welcome to Survey, Valentin. It's going to be wonderful having Switzerland as a partner, and so glad you're joining us.
Thank you so much.
Okay, back to you.
Thank you, Greg. Thank you, Christina, and welcome, Valentin, to the fraternity. You know what's coming your way.
I hope it's cheese.
Yeah, it is cheese. And those of you who actually know me, that you also know that I'm very fond of food, all good wine, but in particular, dessert. And I think we can have cheese for dessert for sure.